the election. How did the storm impact that election? It had a tremendous impact. You know, the election had deep racist overtones right from the beginning. Romney's message was very simple, very clear. I'm white, I'm rich, vote for me. And Obama represented to many people something that was kind of threatening, something that was unknown. The truth is that anybody can do fancy footwork in a debate. But when it comes to really handling something of this magnitude, a storm of this magnitude with the destruction it wrought all down the East Coast, that's where the truth shows up. Who can really handle it? And when finally the Republican mayor of New York, seeing the way Obama coped with the problems, said on television, you know, he is the man for the job. He is the man for the job. There was probably one of the most touching scenes on TV was Obama holding an old woman amid wreckage all around, and there are tears streaming down their faces, both his and hers. The last time a really great president had tears streaming down his face was Abraham Lincoln touring the camp with all the wounded Northern soldiers. He just could not contain his sorrow at what he was seeing. Obama can feel, he can think, and he's extremely intelligent, and he has known for a long time that we are in deep trouble with the planet. Nothing was said about the election. I suspect it was because no one knows what to do about it at this point, but in fact, he has known for some time what's going on, and the question is, how's this going to play out? Now, look at the election again. The concession speech and the victory speech on the eve of the election were quite telling. The Republican room was filled with middle-aged white men and blonde women. And then the camera switched to Obama's room. Every color, both sexes, all ages. It was a cross-section of America. Who put Obama in? Well, it was the Spanish vote. It was the black vote. It was gays and lesbians. It was women. And it was the young people. Everybody confidently predicted, oh, the young people won't vote in this election. Every expectation was foiled. The young people came out in greater numbers than ever. And so did the women. And, you know, I would say women are very practical. And when they saw what Obama was doing out there, that he had things in hand, you know, they aren't bamboozled by words. They can see what's going on. And who put Obama in? The marginalized, the disenfranchised, the underdogs. What does this have to do with awakening? It has to do with everything. It has to do with waking up to the reality of the earth. The earth has always been pushed to the bottom of things. Waking up to the reality of women's power and of women's voting. Waking up to the reality that the poor, the Spanish, the blacks, they are people also. And, you know, symbolically, it puts an end to the rule by rich white men. And it opens the door to what has always been the real goal of democracy. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It has not been that kind of government for a long time. It's been a government by rich white men, and in the past, in the recent past, so intent on filling their pockets with the spoils of oil that they could never put the national good or the world good ahead of their own. What's this to do with awakening? The people are taking back their power. And that's what I talked to you about in the first YouTubes. That's what this is all about. It's about people waking up, taking back their power. The Republicans are now complaining that Obama gave people gifts. Well, when the Republicans give people gifts, it's usually large sums of money in order to achieve some favor. The gifts that Obama gave people were the gifts of their civil liberties, and for everyone, the gift of a sense of human dignity, and that they are to be reckoned with, that the marginalized and the people at the bottom are to be reckoned with. And it's the people's time again. These currents have been sweeping through the Mideast, and guess what? They're sweeping through America. It's the beginning of something very exciting here. Obama has always represented the feminine impulse. Now, I talked about the new feminine impulses flowing in. And in the last 4 years, he embodies the love impulse that's flowing in. The far right in America is far fear. Every move that Obama has made in the last 4 years has exacerbated all of those who are in fear, like Wall Street, like the far right, like the rich. And Obama also represents something unknown to people. In this election, Romney is something that we've known all along, and what we also know at this point is it doesn't work. Obama represents the unknown, and people took a chance. People took a chance on him. It's the new love impulse flowing in. It's the feminine impulse flowing in. It's the power from the base flowing in. And it's a very exciting time. What is incredible is that this great country, America, all the Republicans could think of when they lost the election was, we have to find out how these Spanish people are thinking. And what's their response? Enormous issues are facing us. Issues of practically scriptural importance. And what's the response of the Republican Party? To try to rig the next election. If they can't rig it with the voting machines, we'll rearrange the districts to try to disqualify the Democratic voters. That's pathetic. It's just pathetic. Where are these people's minds? How stupid do they think Americans are? So, this is election. The storm played a major part in the election. It's interesting to me that the storm put an end to the the Earth with one storm put an end to the Republican convention, and with another storm, really I suspect tipped the election in favor of Obama. And so that's where we are. Now, 2012. What is that all about? I told you it's about the forces of love and the forces of fear meeting. And for sure, they met in the last election. And the forces of love won. And all the old fear tactics did not win. Karl Rove was given $400 million to re-elect or elect Republican candidates. He got one incumbent re-elected. That's not a great return on an investment. It's the end of the rule of the rich, and it's the beginning of the rule of the people. And the forces of love and the forces of fear met, and love won. And then things have been unfolding up to today, which is winter solstice.